Ready on the right. Meeting come to order, please. The notice requirement of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual meeting notice was sent to the press at Outreach Current, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, on the municipal website, filed in the office of the municipal court. Would you please turn off all cell phones and electronic equipment, and we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you call the roll, please, John?
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
I am here.
We will go to the department head reports. Ed, why don't we start on you this week?
Okay. We'll start with the road program, which is on Amherst Avenue currently. Water main is installed. Services should be complete within the next week and a half. At that point, asphalt paving will move to their next street. I have not been advised what street they're going to yet, but I will forward that to you. The municipal building, the old municipal building, 1 South Washington, all of the contractors' subs are working currently. Everybody is proceeding post-haste. Estimated completion time is March 1st. We'll see if it makes that, but that's what he's saying. The generators are complete. There was a changeover to a faulty transfer switch that was fixed. So currently they're operational. They're exercising on Wednesdays in the afternoon. So hopefully we're done with that. This municipal building, the boiler replacement's complete. There is an additional change order that'll be coming to install the hot water tank, which we have already. It's just the installation. And there's training on the 22nd. I'll make sure, get the information to Jim so that he can attend. And I've already notified Frank's people. We want to have as many people as possible at that training. The Decatur Avenue vehicle ramp is complete. The 2 beachfront handicap access contractors waiting to start. We have to give the electric company a PO. They have to relocate a pole before the contractor can start. But he's ready to move out there. South Jersey Gas, there's an attached report. We had a meeting with them this week to discuss the street opening or the street closure issues. They agreed to try to be more cooperative, and as of January, they will intensify their workload. There'll be several more crews out there working. So it's their intent to have all the pipe work done and the services by Memorial Day. That's their optimistic intent. And the streetscape project, all the blocks are essentially 90% complete. We're waiting for the decorative lights, the decorative street name signs, and the trash cans to be installed. Other than that, they're complete. We're also checking grades on those to make sure they're ADA compliant. And that's pretty much everything right now.
Thank you, Ed. Chief Tabasso.
Mayor, in the next tomorrow, starting tomorrow and next Tuesday, we're going to be training over at the parking lot at the Little League field, doing extrication drilling with our new Jaws of Life equipment. We have someone from the company coming to instruct, and if you get any calls on that, we've had cars delivered there that are given to the fire department to use for training purposes. So this company who's giving them to us, after they're cut apart, they're going to come and take them away also in a couple days. But the training is scheduled for tomorrow for 2 shifts and for Tuesday for 2 shifts. And notification has been sent out to all the appropriate people in the city. So, that's about it. Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Thank you, Tony. Same to you. Lisa?
Yes. Yesterday, the monthly meeting was held for the Atlantic County JIF, and a couple things I just want to mention with that. They awarded a contract to Pivot Point for $123,000 to do a risk assessment for technology for all the member municipalities. They had sent us some information a few weeks ago, which I forwarded a copy to Fred to review. But basically, it's going to be done in 2 phases, and they're going to send out a survey to each of the member towns. So in addition to Fred, I think other department heads may have sections to complete, but I'll let you know. And once they compile all the surveys, they're going to rate each of the towns' risk and then provide training and recommendations. But I am sure that we are going to be at a low risk because of Fred's efforts, and thank you, Fred. Also, I sent out registration information for the required management and supervisor training. I think 1 session was already held, and there's a few more coming up. And as I've done in the past, I requested that there also be a session held in Margate. So I was informed the other day that they will provide a makeup session sometime in the spring here in Margate. But I ask, because it's only 1 day, and some of the departments have various supervisors, that please don't wait and for the makeup session to send people just in case they're not able to attend. So whoever you could send in the meantime would be appreciated. And please make sure to register, because they reported that they had about 40 people show up to one of the sessions that hadn't registered, and there was not sufficient room for them. Let me see, what else? Okay, we closed on our special emergency note. There was no problems. We paid off the last year's note, and we received the proceeds for this year, so there was no issues there. Joel Fleischman did a great job. Also, one thing that I will be sending to be added to a future agenda, hopefully in the near future, is when we implemented our flexible spending account a few years ago, we did not authorize a plan document, and the reason that it was not done is because we did not have any participants for the first couple of years. And then when we did have a few people enroll, which have only been 1 or 2, for next year we have 3 people. Anyway, it was an oversight, and we did not have a plan document. So I met with Ramona Marshall yesterday, and so I have to review the plan, and I will be sending that over to have it authorized in the future. I prepared a draft of the budget. I met with Rich yesterday, and he's meeting with the mayor and commissioners to discuss that. So I have to go back and make some changes, which hopefully I'll have within the next week or so. And we have to have it introduced, I believe it's March 15th, but I will make sure I notify Johanna. In addition to that, for our reorg meeting in January, there's various resolutions that need to be on, so I will be sitting with Johanna to make sure that they are on the agenda. In the process of, now that we have processed the last payroll for this year, payroll office is in the process of updating salaries as best we can. Unfortunately, there's only a couple of days to have a lot of information input into the system, so that's taken top priority right now. I'm sure I have a lot of other things to say, but for now, just Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year to all.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Chief Wolfson.
Everything's great in the police department as always. I'd like to draw your attention to ordinance 225-2015. That is part of our Class 2 program. And what makes that special this time, he's going to be our first candidate for a seasonal Class 2 that we're actually going to send to the academy. We're going to try an experimental program. We've opened it up to untrained people, and we're screening them, and actually going to send them to the Class 2 Special Police Officer Academy in Cape May County for an accelerated program. They actually go 55 hours a week for, I believe, the next 10 or 12 weeks. And we have high hopes. We hope that's the third of 6. So I want to thank you for consideration in that. Other than that, we're good.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Deeney.
Keeping with our recent tradition, it's going on a year and a half now. Just want to read a quick update with respect to the beach and dune litigation. I don't think there's anything I'm going to read here that's particularly new. It's been reported adequately in the newspapers, but here goes. And I'll have a copy. There's a copy available for the commissioners here, and I'll have the other ones. I'll have some extra copies on the table in between meetings. December 17th, which is today, the report continues. On December 8th, 2015, the Honorable Judge Julio Mendez ordered as follows. 1, and I quote, "The court holds that the Supremacy Clause of the United States Constitution does not bar this court from entertaining Margate's challenge to the state's condemnation action." That was one of the contentions of the state, that we were in, would be in violation if the court ruled. The state contended they would be in violation of the U.S. Constitution. The judge found differently. Number 2, the court holds that Margate is not barred from challenging the state's condemnation action on the basis that Margate has failed to timely exhaust their administrative remedies. 3, the court finds that Margate has made a sufficient showing of arbitrariness to warrant limited hearing on the issue of whether the state's taking constitutes a manifest abuse of its eminent domain power. And that was the key issue. That was the more difficult lift for us to be able to convince that judge. There are some other cases in history that both the state and the city have relied on. And if you read the judge's 27-page decision, you'll find that he overwhelmingly found in Margate's favor. Number 4, the court will permit limited accelerated discovery, including an exchange of expert reports and making experts available for video depositions. The result of this favorable decision for Margate is that Margate will now prepare for a hearing, expanding the findings of our expert witnesses. We are using Charles Rooney, a coastal engineer with more than 40 years' experience and a one-time Army Corps employee. Also, we are using Dr. Robert Young, a professor at Western Carolina University and a geologist with complete and up-to-date data on Army Corps coastal projects throughout the country. Judge Mendez found each to be knowledgeable and credible. That's the quick summary. There's a 27-page report from the judge. It is now on our website, and so if anybody's interested in reading the 27 pages, they can read it on our website. Thank you, Fred. I can also report that on your agenda tonight, under the bills to be paid, is the payment to Dilworth Paxson, our attorneys, for this last phase. It came in just about exactly what we had predicted. We had predicted $35,000. It was $35,785. And while I don't have a number from the CFO, I can tell you that when we encumbered that $35,000, it was still less than the $200,000 that everybody's been speaking of, that was the subject of a past referendum. This phase that's going forward is an accelerated phase, and originally the hearing was to be scheduled the first week in February. It now appears that it's going to be delayed by 14 days, but it's expected that sometime between the middle of February and the middle of March, those hearings will be held, and the judge will hear our expert witnesses and the state's expert witnesses on the question of whether or not the state's actions are arbitrary and capricious. In my words, what that means is there another alternative other than the project that they have proposed? We heartily contend that that's not the only way to do beach protection. And if the judge finds in our favor, we'll be able to get what we've wanted all along, and that is a chance to actually negotiate with the state for an alternative plan. I'm still hopeful that sometime between now and February 15th, the parties will come to some sense of reason and sit down and try to work this out, because it still can be worked out in our view. Questions from the commission?
Thank you, Rich. Scott?
Mayor and Commissioners, as you know, we're moving forward with trying to implement a dredging program for the city of Margate and our Back Bay areas. On last Monday, we had our conference call, which is every other week, with various state officials. There's about 10 participants on Monday. It is productive. You've heard me mention the white papers that were put together by various professionals addressing various complicated aspects of dredging and how to handle material and how to implement the dredging. And the result is that the state did have a conference with their internal people. They advised us at Monday's meeting. They are looking into our request to possibly amend or change some of the regulations to make dredging easier. It isn't just for Margate. It would be for all the shore communities that need dredging. And it's still going to, look, we're not going to be dredging this summer, but we're on the road. I mean, I think we're making progress, and of course I'll keep you updated. One of the big aspects was the fact that they're willing to have this conference call every other week. That keeps the ball moving forward. And I think I gave John credit for this before, but I think you came up with that. I thought you did in the car, which was great because you're so familiar with the legislative process, stuff can get lost. We're moving forward. And as you all know, Commissioner Amadeo and myself and Eddie, our city engineer, went to Trenton, met with this Virginia cop Cash, and I give her a lot of credit. She seems like she really wants to help us and do this. And it's a tough, and as you can see in the newspaper, very expensive. And if there's anything else you want to ask me about the dredging, we are moving forward there. We're pushing hard.
Any questions about dredging?
I don't have anything else, Mayor. I mean, everything else been pretty quiet. I'll echo what Lisa said. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Scott. Same here. Johanna, do you have anything?
We had our auction for the ice cream vending on the beach on Tuesday. We had Jack and Jill vote our auction for $111,000 for the license to do beach vending of ice cream. Last year's total was $99,000. So I think we did quite well with that.
Agreed. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, Johanna. Roger?
And the Choco Tacos are back in. They were missing this year. They're back in, thank God. No, just a very wonderful Christmas to everybody, a joyous and healthy New Year, and hoping next year will be as great as this one was.
Thank you, Roger. Jim?
All right, you won't be here, so what are you worried about next year? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, everybody. Nothing to report.
Fred? Did you get a battery?
Yes, I'd like to report my car missing. It's wound up in the Little League parking lot. What? The only thing I have to report is that the solar panels that I had told you about before that are up and running, there will be a link on our webpage that'll show exactly what the panels are doing. And they are right now saving us money on energy for the building, and they are accumulating the SRECs. One of the things I asked the company to do was to try and go backwards in time and maybe find the last time that the meter was reported up till the time that they pulled it out of the building. And the news that I got back was that if they can get all the paperwork squared away, we should probably see a check for about $20,000 in the next couple of months.
Nice.
So that should cover, I know that's going to cover everything that we've spent so far on repairing it and getting up and running.
Good job.
So that's good news.
Good job, Fred. John, do you have anything?
Fred, Mayor,
Yes.
Fred, I don't know whether you saw the latest email in the last 24 hours, but we have just received a $10,000 grant as well. So we're making money. Keep making repairs, we're making money, so.
Spend more, spend more. John, I'm sorry.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Just want to mention, we have a resolution, number 235 on the agenda today, opposing the city of Margate's, actually stating the city of Margate's position, opposing going to a county-wide dispatch system, based on several conversations with our adjoining mayors and chiefs of police, along with the work our chief of police has done. And I do want to preface it by thanking Chief Wilson and Captain Bergeron for attending the county-wide dispatch meeting organized by the county last Tuesday night. And with all the infrastructure updates that we've done currently, spending almost close to $1 million over the past couple of years, and there is really no benefit to the citizens of Margate to leave the system we have. And with that said, the cost factor that was involved with going into the county dispatch, I felt it necessary that we support a resolution expressing our feelings that the $120,000 in cost that would be part of us joining that system wasn't worth it to the taxpayers, especially with the great service we have here in the city of Margate. I also want to mention that we did finalize our 2 labor contracts with our FMBA Local 41 and our PBA Local 65. We have now, we will execute today the final document that will give a 2-year contract for the year 2016 and 2017, based on the fact that the city is faced with a provision from the Affordable Care Act in 2018 that might make it very costly to the city. So in 2017, we will go back to the bargaining table, hoping that that Cadillac tax provision with Obamacare will not exist anymore, and we can move forward. If not, we really have to revisit the situation based on the fact that the cost that would be passed down to the city. So I want to thank both the PBA and the FMBA for their cooperation through the whole process. I'm proud to say that our employees in both those departments were very cooperative and understanding, and worked with Mr. Deeney and myself, and along with Chief Wilson and Chief Tabasso, through the process to achieve what was best for the city and for the employees. I can say we really have a good contract, and we're moving forward. Thank you.
Marty, do you have anything?
Mike, I only have one thing today, and in keeping with tradition, it is a thank you. I want to thank the MBA, and especially Anna Maria. I received, and I'm sure a lot of residents received in the mail, the new city calendar. And the city calendar looks great. Joy and all the people that helped work on the city calendar, all the department heads, Fred, I think we put out a good product with a lot of good information. So thanks to the MBA.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I reiterate Mr. Blumberg's comments. We're back to the old calendar. That's good. At this point, we will open to public comment, 3 minutes on anything that has been discussed here today. Is the box working, Fred? I gotta watch.
Unlimited time for the holidays.
Wait a minute, I'll keep it the old-fashioned.
Oh, Mayor, you can't count, never could.
Okay.
He's got it on 120.
There it is.
That's under control. Let it rip. Sewell, 22 West Drive. We'll start with the chief. Chief, are those Class 2 officers going to have body cams as well? Yes. Are they going to have intensive, regular training in case they tune somebody up? Absolutely. Well, that's a comforting thought. I'll sleep better tonight. Moving on to the city clerk. Although it may be commendable...
That's hurting my ears.
Well, I have to take that into geriatric consideration.
Thank you so much.
Hold on, we'll put this a little back. Stop the clock, Fred. All right, Fred. It seems like it's ripping along to me. Next to the city clerk, although it may be commendable to have a higher rate of return on the beach ice cream licenses, I personally would rather see a few $1,000s less and not to have the public gouged for the ice cream items, and perhaps have 1 or 2 items priced reasonably, such as a popsicle or a creamsicle or something, a fudgesicle, where children could afford to buy them, rather than have them hyped up to a point where the kids and the parents can't fork a $20 bill over for a couple ice cream treats. And of course, last but not least, with former Assemblyman John Amadeo and his concern about the radio dispatch system, not only is Denny Levinson shifting the burden unfairly upon those towns with higher ratables and in turn lower usage of the 9/11 system. It's inherently unfair. But even more unfair, if we opt out and some of the other characters opt in, we're still on the hook for that $25 million Taj Mahal out at Stockton University. So I strongly urge that perhaps all 3 of you go over and sit in Denny's office until he sees the light. I personally accosted verbally the county executive just this past week when he was visiting the Ventnor Library, and he didn't quite like it, but then again, it's not a popularity contest. It's doing what's right for the taxpayers. So let's get over and see Denny one-on-one. Break his other arm, perhaps. Thanks a million. 12 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Seconds, John. Is there any other public comment?
I move to close.
Second. Johanna?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes,
Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you. We will reconvene at 5 o'clock.